When I was a child, I recall being told a very emotional story about a young man who came to complain about his father to the Prophet ﷺ. And this is that story. On one occasion, a young man came to the Prophet ﷺ, complaining that his father would continuously take from his wealth. And the Prophet ﷺ, being just and fair, told the young man to go and fetch his father. However, as the young man left, the angel Jibreel came to the Prophet ﷺ, telling him, when the father arrives, ask him to recite to you the words of poetry which he has hidden in his heart, which he himself has not even uttered. When the son returned with his father, the Prophet ﷺ asked him, why is it that your son complains against you? Do you wish to take what rightfully belongs to him? The man looked down with humility, responding, Ya Rasulullah, ask him, who do I spend on other than his aunts or myself? The Prophet ﷺ understood, so he did not push the matter any further. However, he did then ask the father, what are those words that you've hidden in your heart? The words that have not yet even been heard by your own ears. Naturally, the old man was shocked. However, he understood that this was a miracle. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, I didn't want to tell anyone these words, but since you have asked, I relent. The old man recited the words, O my son, I fed you as a child and took care of you when you were young. You lived on what I earned alone. When you became sick, I spent the night awake and restless because of your illness, as if your sickness was my own, and because of which my eyes would shed tears throughout the night. My heart would tremble, fearing something would happen to you, though I knew that death is fixed, being neither early nor late. So when you finally reached maturity, which I had always looked forward to, you repaid me with harshness and a hard heart, as though you were the one who did me a favor. And at least, if not my right as a father, you could have at least given me the rights of a neighbor. Having heard the poem, the Prophet ﷺ's eyes were filled with tears. And so he grabbed the boy by his shirt, saying, you and everything you own belongs to your father.